HIIT or cardio? Which should you be doing after 40 to ensure you keep on improving in your kitesurfing? Take two athletes. One of them trains every day for 4 to 5 hours. Training this much means most of the exercise they do is steady state, lower intensity training. The other trains for much less time, but does much higher intensity workouts when they do train. Both compete. For the first few years, the first athlete does really well. They win loads of competition and move quickly up the pack. The second doesn't do quite as well, but still puts in solid performances. But within a few years, athlete number one is starting to pick up a few injuries. They look older than they should. They've started noticing they've got gut problems. As a result, their performance starts to decline, and their punishing training schedule starts to have an effect on their relationships. Their partner starts getting pissed, and they don't see as much of their kids as they'd like. Athlete 2 continues to train in the same way, and slowly their performance is improving. They're enjoying their training and their sport, and still have plenty of time left over for life. What's more, due to the reduced training load, their body is actually getting stronger. They're getting injured less and less and look and feel great. By the time they're 50, athlete number one has had to give up. Their knees gave out and now they can't really run. Athlete 2 is still going strong and is now competing in the veterans section and loving it as much as ever. At this point you may be asking, but I thought exercise was good for us, Sam. And it is. But the problem with huge amounts of exercise is the wear and tear it can put on the body. Repetitive, often fairly high impact activities, running, I'm looking at you, place an incredible strain on predictable areas of the body. And over time, this can lead to joints simply breaking down under the stress. The other potential issue with this type of exercise is it can cause the body to quite literally eat itself. Have you ever wondered why marathon runners are so skinny? It's because as you run for extended periods, the body actually runs out of resources, glucose, ketones, things like this, to fuel itself. When this happens, it assumes there is a survival situation, i.e. it's being chased by a tiger. And the fact that you're telling it to keep running means it's serious. So it better find that fuel from somewhere. So it does. It scavenges energy from anywhere it can find. Now to start with, it mobilizes fat stores. However, after a while, even they don't prove sufficient, so it has to look elsewhere. It starts to break down muscle, connective tissue. It robs the gut lining. It steals energy and resources from your reproductive system. In short, it steals energy from anywhere it can under the rationale that it will be able to rebuild these stores later, once you've escaped from the tiger. It figures, quite rightly, that if you don't escape from the tiger, you'll never use your digestive system, or even worse, your reproductive system again. So for the moment, they're not its priority. In short, it does what the Starship Enterprise would do, diverting all power to phasers. It instead diverts energy and resources from these currently inessential systems, the reproductive system, the digestive system, the emotional system, to the system it needs right now to get away from that tiger, the muscles, the heart, the lungs, etc. Now, when repeated over and over again, without allowing the body time to rebuild these precious systems, these same systems slowly become compromised, leading to hormone imbalances, digestive issues, mood imbalances, and other unpleasant conditions. Now, I know I'm picking on running here, but it's not the act of running itself which is bad. Hell, running is one of my favourite activities. It's the amount of time and the level of intensity we can maintain whilst running which is the problem. We could replace running with any other similarly stressful, low-intensity activity and the result would be similar. So what's the answer? Well, I dive much deeper into this and reveal all the secrets to maintaining a healthy, fit body into your old age so you can keep on doing the sports you love no matter what your age in my free book. It's called Post 40 Secrets, and you can grab your free copy by following the link in the description below or somewhere around this video, or if you listen to this on iTunes, somewhere around the podcast. But to summarize, it depends on exactly what you're trying to achieve. But for many of us, a great place to start would be regular HIIT sessions to maximize results and minimize time with occasional long steady state sessions thrown in. Steady state sessions thrown in. So for example, you might do 3 HIIT sessions a week and every fortnight do a 3 to 4 hour hike in the mountains. Now, will this get you to Olympian levels of fitness? No. But it will give you the fitness you need to do everything you want whilst building health rather than destroying it. Now, running is an interesting one, as many people argue when I mention this, but the human body is designed to run. And yes, it is, but also no, it isn't. If you look at the really top level runners, the Ethiopians, for example, at first glance, they would seem to be just genetic freaks. When you look a little closer, you notice something really interesting. The major difference in the way the Ethiopians train isn't the amount or the distances they do. They're pretty similar to the rest of the world, and they actually do a little less in many cases. What is different is the intensity at which they train. Like many athletes, they utilize the 80-20 method of training. They spend 20% of their time exercising at a high intensity. They then spend the other 80% of their time exercising at a much lower level. Now, the major difference with the Ethiopians is the level or the intensity this 80% is performed at, a level much lower than almost everyone else on the planet, and a level which most CrossFit enthusiasts wouldn't even consider exercise. In fact, the major challenge people have when trying to replicate an Ethiopian's training pattern is not pushing themselves too hard in this 80% phase. You see, yes, the human body excels at long distances. It's our natural advantage. It's what enabled us to hunt down big game back when we lived on the plains. But when you actually look at how humans naturally hunt, we walk, or at least we slow trot the animal down. For most of the time, the hunters remain in that magic 80% zone the Ethiopians have so successfully identified. So that's it from me, guys. Hope that helps. As always, I will see you in the next video or talk to you in the next podcast, wherever you're watching or listening to this. If you liked that, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.